Did you know that crystals are all like boop, 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 boop? Not like that. Wow, that's messy. And that one, yeah, and then there are some more, I mean, depending on the type of crystal, but this is just like a general kind of crystal sort of idea. And these have regular spacings, and the spacings are something like, what, 1 angstrom? We could put it like that. The spacing is about an angstrom, and that is 10 to the negative 10th meters. The cool thing about, well, there are a lot of cool things about crystals, but one of the cool things about crystals is that if you have light coming in here to the crystal, some of it will reflect off and more of it will continue on and might reflect off right here. And therefore these guys would have a different path length, right? Let's get ourselves a little, figure out how much the path length is different between these two guys. We could say that the path length is different by this amount right here. That's probably going to be d times the sine of theta, where I define some angle here to be theta. Oh my gosh. This looks exactly like diffraction. In fact, if you find a kind of wave that has a wavelength comparable to 10 to the negative 10th meters, guess what? It's not visible light, because you know that the wavelength of visible light is something like, well, I mean, let's just ballpark it. It's like 700 to 400 nanometers. That's way bigger than the crystal spacing. But if you find a type of light that has a spacing similar to that, then you can get crazy diffraction from a crystal. And guess what? It's X-rays that do it. And guess what? It's called X-ray diffraction. And it's very awesome, and it enables you to learn about the structure of a material. So if your material has regular spacings like this, then you will get it. Wow, look at this. Look here, this one comes through and that one goes out like that. Wow, you will get a beautiful diffraction pattern, and it's called like living in inverse space. Everything is 1 over everything else. And you can picture stuff. It's fantastically beautiful. For instance, Watson and Crick, you remember those guys who discovered DNA, the double helical pattern? They found a diffraction pattern of it using X-rays, and that's how you investigate crystals and, heck, even freaking DNA. So X-ray diffraction is hugely significant in materials physics. I did myself a little bit of X-ray diffraction, and if you're looking for something that is crystalline, let's see, I, for instance, study a little bit of crystalline silicon, then you're gonna get beautiful diffraction patterns, even if they're very tiny crystals. And if you're looking for something that's amorphous, then you're not going to get very good diffraction patterns, because amorphous things don't have this rigid structure. Atom, 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 atom. They're like atom, 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 atom. They're kind of, they've got short range order, so you might get a little bit of a diffraction pattern, but you don't get that strongly reinforced diffraction grating-like pattern where you have essentially millions, look at this, millions of slits that are exactly the same spacing. In fact, the diffraction pattern from X-rays in a crystal is so incredibly sharp that you can do X-ray diffraction with a crystal that's that small. No, even smaller than that. That small right there. No, you see that little speck right there? I bet you I could do X-ray diffraction on that sucker. Yeah, bring it.